Magdalene. Woman, no need to search any longer, the priestess of wealth. Woman, it is time to heal thyself.
Hello everyone, I just want to welcome Luisa, and she's a friend of mine that I just met because they all have become my friends anyway, even if I just met him a month ago. She is an amazing woman. She lives in Canada. She was recommended to me from another friend to do a session, to do a reading. And I realized she was a sister. She's one of us. I realized she does all the woman work that I've been doing and everything. But we never connected. We never really, had anything in common except that friend that put us together. And I just want to welcome her. Thank you for being on. You're amazing. I love the work you do with women, and you are so, I went through your website, and it's so powerful, the stuff that you posted and everything that you have done. So I want you to tell me, how you got into this path? What brought you into working so much with women? Because I know you're an ancient oracle, I want to say, because of the offering that you're going to do today, which is the tea leaf. But also, I know that's such an ancient art, but we have to get to the beginning before we get to this art. So it's all yours. Tell me. I want to know everything.
Well, obviously, I'm just so grateful and thankful for being here and making this connection with you. And again, the same thing, I felt this sister connection from the moment we first even just spoke. So it's like, definitely there's something there. We're definite soul sisters. The red thread that goes around that connects us all spiritually, it's being pulled. And as it's being pulled, we're meeting the people we're supposed to meet and to work with and to even just hold space with. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I always get tears in my eyes every time I think of it, because it's just so important that women honor each other and work with each other and not against each other. So that is the premises of all of my work. And I know that's what you do as well. And it's just a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
What got me started? Oh, I've been on a spiritual path for many years. So ever since I was a little girl, I was always questioning things and looking for things. And I could never even throw out a rock because I felt the energy of that rock, the spirit of that rock. So that was my connection to the mundane, the regular things. And as I got older, I got very much involved in the metaphysical world. And I had one of my dear friends and soul sisters. I just had dinner with her last night. She said to me, it's time for you to run women's retreats and events. I've always attended them. I've always had a passion for it, for everything that I was doing. And I said, you know what? You're right. You're right. So, and I started on my path and I started on my journey. So every year I hold anywhere from 3 to 5 women's retreats, where we go away for a weekend retreat. I also do one-day retreats because I understand we're mothers, we're sisters, we're wives, we all have commitments. Sometimes it's not feasible or affordable to go away for a weekend because everyone's in a different place. But to get away for a few hours in a day and have that offering and to have that sisterhood is just magical. It really is magical. I hold monthly circles here. Sometimes I'll do the new moon. Sometimes I'm at the full moon. And I can honestly say there is never a day or an evening that there are not tears. Amazing. So it's a beautiful emotional release. And these women just come and they're like so grateful just for holding space, just for being able to be in space. And I just think this is my journey. This is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
I agree.
I'm not stopping now. I'm at the beginning. International retreats are starting to happen next year. So yes, watch out, world.
Exactly.
Watch out, world, here we come.
We're planning one for Greece, and we're planning one for Egypt, and we're planning one for Italy maybe. So who knows? Because, you know, I was just I had another one of those videos for the Women Arising, and a woman said that exactly what you said. It's like we're connecting because it's time where we're connecting from all over the world, and it's like the sisterhood is really happening, not just in our surroundings, our next door neighbor, or within our town or in our country, but this is all over the world. We're waking up. It's time to connect. It's time to understand our bodies, to love ourselves, to, you know, let go of the stress and come into circle, even if it's through the internet, even if it's through that 5 minutes that you said, you know, like to connect with someone, even if it's for a weekend. And to me, that is very powerful. And, you know, thank you for the work you do in Canada, because when, you know, a male friend of ours put us together, which is amazing. So we really honor the sacred masculine also in this way, because brought two women together, as powerful as me as you are. I know that's a little bit egotistical, but we are really powerful women. And the women that are going to be watching us are very powerful, but a man put us together. And to me, that's also a great gift, correct? That's really a great gift.
Absolutely. He's such a wonderful person. And he checks in with me all the time, and I call him, and, you know,
Same here.
So he's just, it's a soul connection that I have. And he would never put me in touch with someone that wasn't in my alignment.
Yeah.
So this is just the divine happening, the divine putting everything in place for us.
I agree. So this is what we want to start sharing with women, because I think we both do the same work or similar work, maybe not exactly the same, but that really doesn't matter anymore. It matters how we open up our arms and help each other and help everyone around us, because that is what womanhood is about. That's what sisterhood is about for me. So, and I know that's there for you too, because here we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a beautiful journey. And again, it's going to continue. And my soul path is meeting women like you, Zephy, and other women that I've come across, teachers as well as students alike. It's just magical. There's no other word for it. It's just magical.
Exactly. I agree with you. And I'm also so happy to even, you know, get the tea leaf reading that you're going to do for me, because, you know, that's my bonus by doing this work, correct? I love this extra bonus that's coming in. But I know about tea leaf reading for many, many years. And I had many Japanese friends, actually women, really, one of them specific doing it. And she does it really well. But, you know, coming into this Women Arising, the summit today, you're going to do it the way you do it with your clients, and do it through internet. And, you know, it's amazing, because you don't have to be in person to do that, because you truly connect with these people. So tell us a little bit about this art. Tell us a little bit about the tea leaf reading art.
So the art of tea leaf reading is ancient. You know, a lot of people are more familiar with the tradition of it being either Irish or Scottish. Some say that it predates 35,000 years from China.
Yeah.
And how the Dutch brought it over through Europe, because, you know, along the Silk Road. So tea started by accident. So they say that the ancient emperor Shen Yun discovered tea by accident. He was sitting there with this cup of boiled water, because you have to boil water in order to make it healthy, to get rid of any impurities. And a tea leaf from a plant, a leaf, blew into his cup.
Wow. And
it flavored it. Hence the beginning of tea. So whether or not that's the true story, because orally we know through traditions, things can change a little bit, but that is kind of the story of how tea came to be. But it wasn't until the gypsies actually that made it quite popular as a form of divination. Even though in Asia, they were doing this quite often, already divining. We know the Oracle of Delphi would read the leaves that would blow on the ground as it would come in. So throughout the world, people have different forms of divination.
Well, in Greece, we have the Greek coffee, you know, or in Turkey,
Absolutely.
Turkish coffee.
Turkish coffee, Greek coffee
I know how to do the Greek coffee.
is also very popular.
Since I was like
Yeah.
6 years old, I can read the Greek coffee, you know?
Yes,
Part of the
absolutely.
women's circle. It was part of the women's circle that we did every,
Yes.
Friday, actually. The women would get together for my grandmother or for my great grandmother. And
Mhm.
we'll get together and they would do the readings and they will talk to each other. And tea leaf, I'm sure he has the same energy, the same feeling behind it.
Absolutely. It's a very similar concept. It's actually almost the same in a lot of ways. But there's also areas of Europe, Portugal and Northern Italy, that they read the sediment of wine in the tea,
Yes.
in the wine glass.
Yes, you're
So
right.
you can use basically anything as a form of divination. Okay. Candle wax. You can drip the candle wax into a bowl of water and let it form its shapes and divine that way as well.
Also, in Mexico, they do it with an egg.
Yes.
You know that,
Yes.
they just break.
I know how to do it. I also know how to do it with that as well. That's also in, especially in Mexico and a lot of in South America,
Yeah.
where you break the egg to look for any impurities, for any evil eye or evil eye removal.
Exactly. So you see, we're just ancient oracles here doing this ancient work.
So we know a little bit about all sorts of things. And in Africa, especially in Togo and Benin, they use seashells to divine. Right. So there's different ways of reading. There's different modalities, I should say, of reading and divining for messages from spirit.
Yes. So I'm ready for mine. Let's go for it. Let's start from the beginning. How you prepare it and, how the whole thing takes place for you.
So usually when I'm doing an actual reading for a client, I'm also blending that in with some cards. Okay. So with the tea leaf reading, I usually get messages with the cards. I usually pull, 2-3 cards, oracle cards. I also do have a tea leaf reading card set that I use at times. Or my favorite go-to is still my tarot deck. So it's just it gives me more of that validation. Okay. So as I'm preparing the tea, I only use loose leaf tea, never tea from a tea bag. I've had women say, no, I'll open up a tea bag and pour that into my cup. And then no, that we call as dust. One of my teachers, God love her, favorite human beings that I have in my life, had said many years ago that what they put in the tea bag is the dust that they sweep off the floor when they're making the tea.
No more tea bags.
Let's not do tea bags. But I still enjoy my good cup of Tetley every now and once in a while. So that's just a myth. It's just a myth. I'm sure that's not, what they actually do. But she says that's it's too fine of a powder to read the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Because in order to read proper leaves, you got to have enough mixture of different size leaves in there. I usually crush my leaves a little bit as I place them into the cup. And you also need to have enough sticks in there. So there's got to be enough natural organic material from the actual tea leaf plant. Okay.
Yeah.
My clients, I prefer my tea block, usually with no sweetener or sugar. That's usually an option, or some lemon or even honey. I prefer not to add any milk or dairy products to the tea. I find that it doesn't sit right. It can be red, but I find it kind of clouds things.
I think
so
the pure the better, the teas or the coffees or whatever we use, those kind of things.
Absolutely. So when I'm doing a reading, like for distance reading, I always have my client give me her first and last name. Okay. So I'm just going to write yours down. Now, I don't know if you want to give me your birth date.
Yeah. 2/16/1961.
Okay.
I have no problem with my age. I love it.
Beautiful. We're 60s babies.
Yes, we are.
Your 60s babies. No other way to be around it, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to place, because I poured your tea already with the water. I'm just going to place your name with your birthday underneath the cup and just infuse that with the energy of Zephy. And I always ask for the divine to come forth, to guide, and to answer us. Opening the doorway for all the angels and our beautiful guides. Allowing all that light and love to come forth. Knowing that this sacred tea is for Zephy today. Zephy, born on the 2nd, February the 16th of 1961. Connecting with her energy across the world where she is currently in Greece. And take a deep breath in, please. Release. And one more time. So whenever I do the tea leaves, if I'm reading for a lot of people, because sometimes I will read for an event or a party, a home party I get to go, I will make a pot of tea. And there's this whole ceremony that you do with this pot of tea. If I'm reading on a one-to-one, I just take the leaves and I just put them in a beautiful teacup. And when the water is nice and hot, I decide to pour the water in. And a few things that I always watch out for as the tea leaves are settling at the bottom of the cup. First thing I notice, if there's any bubbles. So the bubbles at the top of the cup means love and kisses. So when I poured your tea, Zephy, you are surrounded by love. So you have all this beautiful, loving energy around you constantly, and actually form like a big bubble of all these little bubbles. And that's just so beautiful. There's no other word for it. It's just beautiful to have that. And another thing that showed up earlier when I poured the tea was the sacred symbol of Om. And that was powerful in itself. That's just so powerful in itself. So what I'm doing now, I had poured out the water, the excess water. So now I have the tea leaves at the bottom. So, and with the tea leaves, I'm swirling the cup. Okay. So we let go of the excess water, getting enough of the leaves to go around the cup. Now I invert the cup. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do now, Zephy, is to take a deep breath again and make yourself a heartfelt wish. This is something entirely for you, not for anybody else, not for your business. This is for Zephy and her sacred heart.
I did.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now I tap 3 times at the bottom of the cup, bringing forth that energy. Then I turn the cup 3 times clockwise to get the energy going. And you're chuckling because I think you've experienced this already.
Similar to what I do with the Greek coffee. So yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of traditions that they are very similar. They're very much in alignment and very much similar.
And that's why I love the ancient traditions, because no matter what countries from a tradition, you find in the connection that how women are. We
Yes.
find in those connections because we have it. It's the same, but a little bit different. That's the connection. That's the cloth that you're talking about, the strings that you're talking about.
String, absolutely. The sacred red invisible string that connects us all around the world. And as women, I understand, especially in a Western society, women can be very competitive.
Yes.
Very competitive. And we forget to be women. We forget that we all bleed, that we all are sacred. We are the creators. The world would not exist without us.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I'm getting goosebumps as you're saying that, because this is the key. This is where we need to go. And we're getting there.
Yes.
We're getting there.
And we are getting there.
Yeah.
One sister at a time, we're getting there. And again, it is that connections that we're making, and it's just filtering across the globe.
Yep. I agree.
Just across the globe. Just across the globe.
Like our summit.
It's
That's
absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, let's see what's in your cup.
Woohoo. I can't wait.
When are you planning your next women's gathering? Soon?
Well, you mean after this one?
After the summit.
After-
Not talking about the summit. I'm talking about like a physical gathering.
As soon as this is finished, by maybe the next one will be September, October.
Okay. I actually am seeing women dancing, but it's not just an ecstatic dance. It's more of a tribal fusion dance that you're doing.
Yes, I love that.
Okay. So I see that they're gathering and they're all doing the mudras. And it's just beautiful. This is what's coming to me. Everyone's just doing all these beautiful hand gestures.
Oh, that's amazing. That probably would be in the next gathering of the summit, because we're thinking within a year, 2000, maybe that's the one, 2023, would do the summit in person. Not
That would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. I see dancers and I see different dancers from all over the world in different outfits. In
Okay.
very much different outfits. Okay. It's time for you to do a full sweep. Okay. So what I'm seeing in your cup, you're holding a broom, and this is you cleansing away any negative energies or things that are tying you down. This is your turn. This is your time to shine and sweep away what is no longer serving you. Whether it is a top that you've been hanging on to that isn't quite right anymore. It could be a piece of jewelry. It could be someone that's in your life that's kind of still heavy with that energy. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is, Zephy, it's time to let go and sweep it out.
Love it.
Sweep it out, but you sweep out, but then you sweep in the positive energy. Sweep out the negativity and you sweep in the positive energy.
Because the more we release, the more we make space.
Absolutely. And it's time to declutter.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to declutter. You are completely surrounded by, I see palm trees. Very tropical like trees. Is there palm trees there in Greece?
There's some, but you know, mostly are in Egypt.
Interesting. Interesting. That could be your trip to Egypt.
That could be my trip to Egypt. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that there's date palm trees in Egypt.
Yeah, but they look like palm trees. I mean, they're not
Yes.
any different, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, you got lots of hearts. There's lots of love surrounding you. You're ready to spread your wings. Because here I see a symbol of a woman, which is you, and on her back, she's got wings. So this is you ready to spread your wings, let go of the fear, let go of any doubts, and just trust. And I speak from experience, it's a very hard thing to do, is to trust.
Take a step at a time. That's what I figure out for myself. It's a
Yes.
step at a time.
So you just go, but trust the process. Really trust the process, because this is your time, Zephi. This is your time. Is there a fig tree around you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that you sitting underneath the fig tree. Okay.
Okay.
So figs, we know, have been around as a fruit
Thousands.
for thousands of years, But it's also you reaping the rewards of your hard work, right? And having that, okay, I worked hard for this. I'm going to lounge now, and I'm going to almost like the old Romans would feed the people. So this is what I'm seeing. So this is the divine giving this message to you. That's now your turn to accept the rewards of the universe, even one fig at a time. You may end up getting another dog.
Okay.
Another small one. It'll be a small one.
It's always a small one.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a small one. Because you have now a Pomeranian, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. Is I'm seeing another Pomeranian, a lighter colored one.
That's the only dogs I get. I love Poms. They're my favorite.
Beautiful personalities.
Yeah.
Beautiful personalities. Now I also see that there's a little girl around you. Who's the little girl?
I only if it's my niece, but she's not little. She's like 24.
No, I see little. So that could be that there's someone close to you that's going to be having a baby soon, or
Oh.
knowing or hearing about a pregnancy.
Okay.
Sometimes that shows up. Sometimes we're like, oh no, I don't know anybody. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, yeah, I just found out that
Yeah.
so-and-so's
Yeah.
pregnant.
That's good. I will hear from some birth. Yeah.
You'll hear from someone, but it's happy news. It's happy news. That happened to me personally a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was teaching a tea leaf reading class for one of my students. So we always, she reads for me, I read for her, just so she gets some experience and understanding, some practice. and a baby showed up in my teacup. I'm going, there's no one pregnant that I know. It turns out that my step, so she is my step daughter-in-law.
Okay.
She's pregnant.
Oh,
And we found out a few days later after my teacup.
that's amazing.
So it's these little messages. Sometimes, sometimes we're filtering through, and, we might not know right now, but in a few days, things always come to light.
For sure.
Things always come to light. Your house is here.
Okay.
Your house is here. And it's not a big house. It's a modest size house, but I also see roses in your garden.
Nice.
I see a lot of roses in the garden. There may also be a stray cat that comes around. It's time to dance under the moonlight. Go out tonight, take your shoes off and just put your feet in the water.
Yeah, I'm right. The water is right in front of me right now.
I'm envious. I'm not going to say I'm jealous, but I am going to say I'm envious.
Okay. You'll be in Greece next year after your Peru trip.
I'm definitely coming to Greece next year. You are meeting people, women, who are elevating you to the next level spiritually. So there's no words for this. There really is no words for this from what I'm seeing. So it's just almost closer to, you're doing divine work. So this is your mission. This is your goal. So everything that you are doing is what you should be doing. Never doubt it. Never question it. Never question it.
The divine works in mysterious ways, bringing all these women together for the summit. It's been just a tremendous gift and amazing.
Absolutely. And once the summit is over, it's time for you to take some time for yourself. Some self-care time.
Okay.
Definite self-care time. And don't be afraid to open your heart.
Thank you.
Don't be afraid. Because what I'm seeing that's coming for you is so magical and so wonderful, and that it is in complete alignment with everything that you've ever wished for.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not going to ask you what you wish for. All I'm going to say is, may it be so.
Yes. And that's,
May it be so.
thank you. And
You are
that's
so
part of the wish for all the women, I think, that are in this path and the struggling with really not to be noticed or anything like that, but for the work they've been doing all these years to really shine for them and to really give them that opportunity to get to the next level. I think the reading that you just did, it really, I know it represents me, but I felt it represents a lot of women out there, because now it's time for us to do things with not being afraid, not worried, just go for it and clean out our closets, correct? I mean, you know,
Yes, time to get you, it's time to purge. It's time to purge and get rid of things, whether it's that piece of furniture that you've been holding on to that's cluttering your space. Or like I said, it could be a piece of jewelry, it could be clothes, could be a pair of shoes, could be people, could be something, anything.
and not to hold on to the things that don't serve us anymore. And I think that's part of the ancient way. The women in the ancient times and the ancient circles they used to make, that's what they used to talk about. They used to talk about, okay, it's time for me to let go of this, and can you hold on to me? Can you help me when I'm ready to release? Instead of me doing it alone and being afraid, you know. That's why we had the talking stick and the, you know, all the circles that we did in the ancient times. And to
Absolutely.
me, the reading that you did for me represents, you know, every single woman out there. And thank you for that, because, you know, I know people say, well, why in the summit we'll put a tea leaf reading? Why not? Why not to really get to understand what we used to do, and that we have lost this kind of connection.
Absolutely. This is what women used to do. They used to gather once a week and read for each other and hold space for each other and get messages. And oftentimes they were drumming and dancing and creating this magical, powerful circle.
Yeah,
We forgot along the way.
exactly.
We forgot along the way.
And I actually want to give this reading to all the women out there, because I think that was part of my wish, is to connect my reading, to connect to everyone. So I felt it very strongly. Any last words you want to tell us about the tea leaf reading? I'm so excited I can't even talk anymore. I lost words. And how do you feel when you do it or when you offer it? And I don't know. I don't know what else to ask. I'm like so amazed.
Well, when I do my readings, I always connect to my spirit guides and the divine. And I know personally when the messages need to be read and heard, because I get goosebumps.
Yes.
So I'm sitting here reading for you and I'm like covered in goosebumps. Like I'm almost like shivering at some points. I often even just get tears in my eyes because of the beautiful messages that I see for people. And it's, again, it's just more of validation. Often it's validation. We're not always looking to see what's going to happen in the future as a fortune teller, but we need, as women, that validation. And it's nice to hear it from another woman who is our equal, where we should all be equals and not be threatened to say, oh, but she knows so much and I don't know anything. No, you know something more than I do in other things. Why not share? Why not move forth and just share?
And really not afraid of being right up front, no matter what the sharing will be, correct? Just sit there and accept it with grace and love. And also the goosebumps that you talked about is about confirmation. We confirm what we already know. I think a lot of the readings that you know, that it happens and we do, the shivers, it's the confirmation. It's like what we already know, you can confirm it for me. And I'm not worried about you, you know, saying something that is not there, because I can feel it. And you confirming it for me. So that's also a big, big gift that women need to really connect to, the confirmation that comes and how they're feeling it.
Absolutely. 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 And one thing that I always like to teach as well when it comes to the tea leaf reading is an actual ritual that women can do once a month. So they're connecting to their sacred womb space. And it doesn't matter what phase of life that they're in, whether they're the maiden, the mother, the enchantress, or the crone, it doesn't matter. But connect to, take that time for yourself. Do a tea leaf reading for yourself. and don't be afraid of the outcome. Don't go with what you get, the first message that you get in those leaves, and don't question. If you see dragons, then bring forth the dragons.
Yes.
If you see fairies and you see hearts, allow them to come in. So don't question everything, because we tend to be over analytical.
Yeah.
Especially in the Western world, We
And
tend
the
to be
signs
way
are
over.
important. The signs are important that we see.
Yes, absolutely. So to have and create a sacred space for you and do a tea leaf reading, it's just powerful.
So can you give me the steps? So for the women to be able to do a simple one for them, like you boil the water.
So you're going to boil water, and you're going to get, my recommendation for tea leaf reading is either a cream of Earl Grey, which is my favorite because it has little blue flowers in there.
And to be loose, not to be in a.
It has to be loose leaf. It has to be loose leaf. And there's many brands out there that you can get, but you only need like a little pinch, and you crush them just like this, pinch and crush, and just put them in a cup. If you're going to be doing a tea leaf reading for yourself, you cannot use a coffee mug. Okay, that's also very important. It needs to be a teacup.
A teacup, yes.
Okay, so it has to have a wide enough bowl. Okay, not too wide. No patterns on the inside is ideal. The handle needs to be lower or the same level as the rim.
Mm-hmm.
If it's too high, you will break it, because when you invert it. Okay.
Got it.
So when you're looking and doing the tea leaf reading, you on average have between 20 and 30 minutes to decipher the leaves, because they start to dry and then they will flake and fall off. Okay.
Okay.
Then again, it's very much then you just invert it, you drink your tea, connect to your womb space. If you have, I love rose oil. I use a lot of rose oil in my rituals. So I would recommend women taking that rose oil, placing it in your hands, and just breathing in that beautiful scent of the rose oil, putting some on your heart and on your womb space. And as you're sitting there connecting, breathe. We forget to breathe. If you want to do a 3 or 5 minute meditation, and just breathe and allow that energy just to really ground yourself. Hold that cup of tea as if it's something sacred. Really enjoy that tea. This is for you. This is for yourself. If you want to put rose petals around you, if you want to do it in a bath, do it in a bath. We forget to be feminine, and it's okay to be feminine. So roses, rose petals, rose
Candles,
oil,
maybe.
Absolutely, candles, and just create an ambiance for yourself. Soft music, whatever is going to relax you. Then drink your tea at leisure. Tea is great cold, and it's great hot.
Yes.
So, and then once you've finished drinking your tea, you have to leave approximately about a teaspoon of liquid at the bottom, because you still need enough to swirl. So my recommendation is when you're swirling the cup, okay, I'm right-handed, so I make sure that my thumb is through the handle.
Got it.
And I am securely holding it, okay? And I'm going to swirl, okay? And as I'm swirling, I'm making sure that the leaves are going around the inside of the cup, as you can see in here. We're able to get it right around, okay? And then as you're swirling without stopping, you're going to invert it on a dish with a napkin or a paper towel, okay? And once everything drains, you would tap it 3 times. You make your wish. You turn it clockwise 3 times because we're all bringing in that positive energy. Okay. 3 times Maiden, Mother, Crone. We all work in the Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is Trinities. And once that's done, then you would read.
Amazing. Thank you for
And
that.
if you're looking for a time frame, this usually represents 12 o'clock. So 12 o'clock, 3, 6, 9. So you're going around an actual clock. Then you have the time frames for timing is always hard to divine with.
Yes.
But if you do let's say, here's an example. If you do tea leaf reading on a daily basis, you'll start to see a sequence of timing with your messages. If you're doing it once a week, you will actually gauge it by weeks. If you're doing it once a month, it does the same thing. You'll start to see sequences by month. So your timing will start to fall into place. But if you do it once in a while, you can't really gauge your timing.
Okay, that's amazing. So can you tell us what the offering would be for the women so they have an idea?
So what I'm offering the women is a tea leaf reading session with me, just like we did. But I'm also going to create notes for the summit, as well as the actual ritual, what women can actually do and have something they can follow. I know, we're very analytical and it's easier. Sometimes it gets easy to say things, but we're not going to remember. There's so much information. So I like to create a lesson per se, send it out to women and say, this is for you. This is what you're going to have from me.
So how many women are you offering the tea leaf reading to? How many is do you have?
I'm working 3s, so I'm going to say 33.
Okay. That's really nice. Thank you. And then all the rest of the women can get the paper that you're going to be sending out, the lesson.
Yes, I'm going to create it. I'm going to create the format. I'm actually in the process. I'm almost finished creating it for the summit, and then I'll send it off to you.
Thank you.
And we'll all have it. Everyone will have the lesson on tea leaf reading and sacred womb space ritual.
That's beautiful, because next year we're going to do that live, and you're going to be traveling doing that live and teaching.
And I look forward to it.
So thank you so much. That was amazing. And thank you for my reading. And I can't wait to get the handout too, because I want to go part of it, to go in there again. I was just doing, I do coffee readings for me, but I turn it around once a week on a Friday normally, because that's where we were taught it happened on Fridays, but I do it anyway. But I want to do the tea leaf reading now.
It's fun. It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's fun. And we never stop learning. We never stop learning. We learn every single day. So why not learn something that's fun, or something that's going to ignite you and make you passionate about it?
And also share it with your girlfriends. Get together and have some tea instead of just sipping tea or in a big mug. Do a ritual, do a ceremony with it. I think that's where we have forgotten as women, is the rituals and the ceremonies that make us women. Correct?
Yes.
That correct. Is an amazing thing. It's not just doing a reading. It's the ritual. It's the ceremony. It's what you get out of that energy that it fills me up when I do rituals and ceremonies.
Oh, same. It's just so powerful. It's so powerful.
So thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. And me and you will connect again very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Take care.